Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Buzz by Lady Dani. Today we are going to go ahead and give you a review on the Freedom Street New Year's Eve into New Year's Day celebration. So it's a review on the performances, the DJ, the host, the crowd, the venue, and I do have a special guest here with me. You may call him Mike. And I want you to drop your likes, your comment, and share this video. Please subscribe to the channel and anything at all, good or bad, please drop the comments below. That's the only way the stream or the podcast will get better. All right. Thank you. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm not too bad.
All right. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the review of the Freedom Street concert, highly anticipated event for Vybz Kartel's first performance in Jamaica. Um, what do you think about his performance? Just an overview. You can just tell me, hey, it was good, it was fair, you get it 8 out of 10 overall, and why.
Well, I thought it was good. I mean, he did everything right. I would give it a 8 out of 10 based on what I watched. It was fair. It was pretty good.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually break it down into different sections and see if we can get a better estimate of how well he did. In my review, overall, I did give him a 8.5. There were some glitches, and I do want to, cover them, both the pros and cons, and see if you would still stick to that 8. All right.
Okay.
So first, DJs. What do you think about the DJs? You know, I think I remember it was Ricky Platinum and the Chris Diamond, and I think they played exceptionally well.
Yeah, I think the DJs did a good job. They
Yes,
had the crowd.
very
They
engaged.
maintained it for the entire time they performed.
Absolutely. I must agree with that. They played well. They went over 10 p.m. I
Yes,
remember
yes, they did.
they started, I believe, around 8. They did start around 8, and they did go over 10 p.m., but they kept the crowd engaged
Right.
throughout. You could hear from the live stream aspect, you could hear the audience singing along, being engaged with everything that they had to say. So I give the DJs practically a 10 out of 10
Right.
for their
Yeah, I do
performance. They
that too.
were
Yeah.
very good selections. I know they did mention Boom Boom would have been present, Chromatic. I'm not sure if they perform, but I can only speak on who I actually get to see or see perform basically. And they did their job right. So who did the selection in terms of DJs? I must commend them because that was a good start to the event. Um, you have anything else to touch in terms of the DJs?
No, I just think that everything went smooth where the DJs were concerned.
Absolutely, absolutely. Then it's I believe it was a little after 11 where we saw Nuffy. MC Nuffy came on screen and he started his whole introduction. I must tell you, I think Nuffy is an exceptional. I think that's gonna be my word tonight. I think he did an absolutely great job as an MC. Knowing cartel performance level going into prison, I didn't expect his performance was gonna be this great performance. So to know that Nuffy was there every step of the way with him, it it gave him room to be comfortable,
Hmm.
going into his performance and into each every song, because Nuffy was there.
Yes,
And knowing
yes,
the history and how comfortable they are, because they said, they're from Portmore, and they grew up together. I think it was ideal picking him as his MC. Was a great choice. He did live up to the hype.
yes. He
He
did.
did,
He did
right?
do his job,
Yeah.
which is talking. He maintained that, so he did a good job.
Absolutely. Nuffy being chatting off, right?
Right.
So yes, he did indeed stick to his name, his moniker, as being Mr. Nuffy. So he was all over the stage, engaging or attempting to engage the audience as much as possible
Hmm.
into
Hmm.
the performance, even when there were some cons going on into later on into the show. He tried to redirect the crowd from the negative
Right.
that could have
Right.
affected the show.
Right.
So I must commend him on that. So his performance, I do give him a 10 out of 10. His attire, oh my god.
Yes.
He came out in two different attire. He changed, I think, one time into the show, and he lived up to his job of
Yes.
being an
Yes.
MC. He made sure he came out and represented, and I love that for MC Nuffy. He did a very good job in my thought of how the event went, and even his introduction to Cartel. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he nailed it real good. He lived up to the hype.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it
So
was a good way of how he called out Cartel.
yeah, I really, really love that part. I love how the staging and the lighting and everything, it just intertwined, and it was a great introduction to Vybz Kartel, jumping into the video and then seeing Cartel coming from below the stage was an amazing, amazing impact. All right. So let's talk about um, Cartel's entrance. What do you think? Coming from below the stage, what?
I mean, from my point of view, the entrance was epic. The only thing I did not like, he was just a bit serious, and he held that serious face for well, why I would say a
Too
bit
long.
too long.
I agree, because for me, I think Freedom Street is a way of it's a celebration,
Yes,
not only for the fact that it's going to be a new year celebration, going into a new year, but it's his first time officially performing since he has been out of prison.
right, right.
And there's a lot for him to be grateful for. I'm not saying that he's not grateful, but I just thought it would have been nice, even if he started out with that serious look, like, yeah, I made it, bitch. And then he transitioned to a smile, and then he turned around, because remember, it's a 360
Stage,
stage.
yes.
So if he had turned around and just put his hand up and engage the audience, I think he would have gotten even a louder cheer. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
just him coming out like that, forwarding out.
Right. Why for that?
Why for that? Um, that was epic, but I wish he had smiled in the beginning at that moment. So I did love that introduction to the audience as well, for him to be, you know heading from below the stage,
Right.
heading up to to the audience. That was pretty cool. All right. So the lineup was, I think we got everybody that we said we were gonna get. He did tell us Massacre was no longer gonna be on the show,
Hmm.
so we already knew that ahead of time. Um, who else can we say did not show up that was supposed to show up?
Well, I don't know if Drake was supposed to be there, but
Right. I'm glad you brought
based
that up.
based on how they had it, I thought Drake was going to be there.
Right. I must agree with you. So I'm glad you brought that up. They kept hinting that there was gonna be a Canadian rapper, but I
Right,
think why he didn't name the person was because it was still undecided.
right,
I
right,
think so. So I think we as fans really wanted that to happen for him, but it just didn't, materialize how
right,
we wanted it. So I think it was I don't think he attempted to do that intentionally. I just think the person, if it's Drake or whoever it is, gave him the impression that, yeah, it's a likely case I would be there,
hmm,
But if it was me doing a promotion or marketing, probably I wouldn't have said it and made that be one of my major surprise if
right,
he actually showed
right,
up you know um I think that would have been a better way, because I did hear a few people leaving the event saying, hey, I thought he said Drake was gonna come. you know was it a marketing strategy to um what would you call it now,
get more attendance.
to get more attendance, right, to the event, giving us this idea, this false narrative that Drake was coming when he knew he wasn't. We also thought either Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. Well, us being in the US, we knew Cardi B would have been
Right,
at Live
engagement.
or Live um, in Miami, so we knew she had a prior engagement. So I was thinking maybe it's gonna be a Nicki Minaj, and on the ground we were hearing, oh, Rihanna is in town and da da da. So I was wondering, is it gonna be Rihanna? But to me, Rihanna is not into performing really. So if she was gonna be there, what was she gonna do? Just show up, to pay respects? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that was kind of a damper, but realistically, I was not looking for Drake to be there. If he did come, it would have been, if he did show up, sorry, it would have been a great treat, to the event, because I know he has shown a lot of love and respect to Cartel. So that would have been a great moment right there.
hmm,
All right. So we're gonna get down into the lineup really of who actually came to the show, and you can tell me how you feel about each person. So the first segment of performance, when Cartel came out, he came out in a suit. So I'm guessing, I know originally in previous interviews, he mentioned it would have been three different sections.
right.
And I think he didn't get to perform his War Angel, because he did give us a hint that he was going to change again. But I think
Due to
things
time.
just, due to time, a lot of things kind of run out of whack.
Hmm.
And I don't think everything went as how it was planned. But I will big up production, and I will big up Cartel and TJ. I saw TJ on the stage the whole night with Cartel. They've been working to make sure whatever is going backstage, we're not aware
Right.
of it.
They did a
So
good
I
job
love
in
that.
that department.
I loved I love that. Some things did come on the stage later on, but I'm glad that for the most part they didn't show their dirty laundry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So big ups to TJ, big ups to Cartel, big ups to the production company behind it. If it's Joe and Scatter and their whole team, big ups to them on that. So for Vibes Cartel, the suit. Um, I love the suit.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
the
the suit. I like seeing him in a suit
hmm
actually. And I think it was a slow start. For me, it was a slow start.
Yes, for me too. I think he was getting a feel of the stage based on he was not performing for quite some time, but he got the feel for the first half of it, but later on he got the momentum where he did an exceptional job.
Exactly. I must agree with you. Vibes Cartel, like I said earlier, is not known to be a great interviewer. Well, I said interviewer, a great performer, but he wasn't the worst.
No.
Okay. And to know he's also battling illness, and this is his first performance, so we have to give him grace. And I'm not, I don't want to be just a fan, I want to be a critic of the show. He did well.
Yes, he did.
He did well in the first segment. That first segment though, I'm not sure if it was nerves, but it started off slow for me. I think it really picked up for me when Spice came on the stage.
Yes.
But before I get to Spice, his 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 Portmore Empire female artists, they need work. They need work as performers in my eyes. Indu, she did try to come out and embrace the audience, and she tried, but more practice, I believe she would have done a phenomenal job.
Mm.
Sheba, I don't know if she was nervous in the beginning, why he was calling her. She wasn't present. She came out later on with Enance. But when she did come out, or when she forward on the stage, listen with this wise stuff. But when she came out on the stage, she she was uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Her
you
shoes
could see that.
was not for the stage, and she doesn't have that personality where a Spice would say, yeah, voila, let me take off my shoes, because she know she got good on night, right?
Right,
And
right.
get herself comfortable. No, she was trying to look a particular way, which is fine, but when your shoes are squeeze you,
Yeah,
well,
uncomfortable look. She had that
uncomfortable, and she looked
uncomfortable
that
look, which
way.
I did
And
not understand
why would you put yourself through
through all of
that?
that. Right.
You're going on this international show where I know a lot of people are going to talk about it, a lot of people are going to stream it, a lot of people, and I know Carter was looking for a particular look, a particular vibe for his show. He wanted to put it on the highest platform, and I love that for him, because he wanted his event to be similar to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just the stage alone is like a wireless fest. It was a very big platform, and I really wanted to see him win, which I believe he still
He did win.
did.
I mean,
He did win, but
the entire show to me went smoothly. For the little uprising on the stage in the last part, uh,
it wouldn't take over
no,
anything.
it went smooth. I mean,
I just think they could have performed better. Like the females, I don't know if they did a lot of sound check or practice, but or it could be nerves, because I get to understand most of them have not performed since he left
right.
or since he was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Most
Mm-hmm.
of them kind of stick to the side when it comes to their, being entertainers. So that could have been it as well. But, I wanted them to come with their A game, and I know he wanted that for them as well. And this is a big platform that he's putting them on.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to not be prepared, you know, that is just like, I didn't get that. Lisa Hyper, I wanted her a better performance from her. Uh, I'm not sure if it was nerves for her as well. She had a lot of big songs with Cartel. She did try. Out of all the girls from his empire, she, I think, tried put on a better performance than the others.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like her outfit, but hey, that's just me. But I wanted better from her. Um, Another person from the empire that I do believe need growth, and it's no disrespect to him, it was Sean Storm, but he was also away for a long time. So he's just getting back to his craft in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more work for him to do, and I look forward to seeing big and great things. And congratulations to him. He's now out, he's now able to capitalize and work on his craft. He went in pretty early in his career. So now is a new leaf for him to, just continue on a higher trajectory
Yeah.
in terms of his performance. What do you think about his performance?
Yeah, I think his performance was good. I mean, the only thing I couldn't understand was his outfit, but
I must agree
he,
with that.
he came out with his performance real good. Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't get it either. But hey, maybe he's trying to do like a skeng, because skeng is Jamaica's dancehall rock star.
Right.
So he
Right.
was probably trying to go for a rock star type of vibe. But hey, I can't knock it. I like when I like old time dancehall where, they dress up, for their events. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I will always be a Beanie Man fan
Exactly.
because he's an all round entertainer. So maybe he was going for something like that where he was truly being an entertainer and trying to find this extravagant suit to wear, to bring off the crowd, to bring off, his hairstyle was a little bit different and stuff. So, hey, big ups to Sean Storm. I really have nothing bad to say. I just say, hey, continue working on your craft and continue believing in yourself because you have a long way to go. So, big ups on that. Um, so that's it for my pros. Oh no, my cons to the performers. Oh, I also had Eddie G Bama. I didn't like Eddie G Bama. Popcorn brought him out on his show, and for some apparent reason, I didn't like him. I didn't think he was needed at that very moment, and I don't know.
It was different. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It was different.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was drunk. I didn't know if that's how we normally perform, but I'm not a fan, so I don't know. It was not it for me. All right. Another con for me would be Shauna performing. I know Cartel had I think like two songs. I think they've collaborated on two songs. He did
Mm-hmm.
say she's like family. Fine. I get it. But Um, it's either the song selection that she chose. I don't know. The first one, uh I guess Cartel is probably playing chess because it is a kind of a way of dissing Futa, Futa hype, that is,
Mm-hmm.
because they've, Futa been saying a lot of stuff about him, and that was a diss track to Futa hype when she left him back in the day. So I don't know if that was his reason of inviting her, but she always try to play this equal rights song.
That
It's a
song
it that
for
song
that moment, that song to me
was not
wasn't
necessary.
necessary.
I agree.
If that's what she went on the show for, she could have not have been on the show.
Right. So I don't know if she got the memo or even realized what her job was, but she did that and wanted to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't needed. That could have been just a diss track played for Futa to realize that, hey, we don't want you talking about us. We don't care about you. And, I put Aishan on the biggest platform and she dissing you.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been like a middle finger to Futa hype.
Right.
But she pushed the boundaries sometime with something that is still a culture, something we don't really talk about in the culture.
Right.
I know the culture has changed drastically, but there are some things they're still not ready to talk about men doing then, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So bumper to your forehead was not necessary in this, equal rights was not necessary at that very moment.
No,
So for me, she was not a necessary addition
to that
to that
package.
lineup.
No.
So she being a special guest was not necessary. So I did say Eddie G. I did say Aishana. Savage, I get to understand, is a new signee to Vybz Kartel Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the name he's going with, but I don't know if I wanted him to be on the show for this, but I guess I can't knock it because he is one of his artists that he's trying to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So big up to Savage. I didn't have an issue with his song. I didn't think he was needed on the show, but hey, I get it. So let's leave it there in regards to him. All right. Did I touch on his sons?
No, you haven't said anything about his
All
sons.
right. So Liquor Vibes and Liquor Addy. I really don't have anything negative to say. All I want to say though is there's a lot more growth that is there for them, and I'm glad he gave them that platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they need a lot more in terms of stage presence. They did try though. I saw, I believe it's Lika Vibes. He was walking the stage. He was, going around the 360. I also saw Lika Addy did that as well. But I want their voice, their vocals to come out because I have listened their songs. They have good songs.
True, but I mean they're still young.
They are.
They 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 have a lot of way to go. And from what I'm seeing, their father is going to take them under his wings, I should say, and execute. I mean, that's Vibes Cartel. So for the future, I think they will gradually
Right.
grow. There's a lot more room, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think they have a very bright future because their lyrics are good. And based off, you know, interviews that I've seen Cartel done, he does say, he has said that they write their own music.
Hmm.
So for me, I just think it's a stage presence that they need to work on, and how to vocalize everything and let us hear what they're saying
Hmm.
basically. But Big up to Looka Vibes, Looka Addy, and I wish them all the best on, their careers. I think they have a very bright future. With their dad's guidance, he will put them onto the right path, the
Mm-hmm.
right channel, the right people. So I wish them all the best when it comes to that. All right. Let's talk about let me see, the TikTokers. I wanted to go down the line from who started out first, but I kind of swerved off to the left when I started to talk about my cons in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the performances. But seeing that I'm there, I don't want to go to the big artists, the big artists yet. I do want to touch on Shalom. What do you think about Shalom performance?
Shalom is shalom.
That is
I
right.
I enjoyed it for the most part. I
I
mean,
did too.
I just wish he had a little bit more longer time, but then again, I could see why they wouldn't give him a longer time because he was taking down a lot of persons.
For me though, I mean, all right,
I'm
Shalom is entertaining,
exactly,
but he's a TikToker just like the
exactly.
others
So
that he was bringing down. I think it would have been great for him knowing, well, I don't know if he knew he was going to perform,
right, but
but if he had known to do like something like what a Spice did.
yeah, I for me, if I was Shalom, I would have changed certain word into my
Not wording, but maybe the characters that he
because
mentioned.
yes,
Like you're giving a platform to Jaden and World Dog and all these people, Miss Kitty and all those people that you're trying to get rid of, or the transmissions, as he would put it.
and really and truly, the light was on you.
The light was on him.
So
So if he knew he was gonna go up there, to do something freestyle, because the reason why he was even there was because his personality was
exactly,
captivating to us. So I think, to not even us, but to
the cartel,
Cartel,
cartel is a
found
big
him
fan.
funny,
You
right?
could see that.
So he wanted to give him a platform for people to hear, and he should have had something in the back of his head said, just in case he invited me,
Like this is what I'm
maybe,
gonna do. This is how I'm
if
gonna
I get an
execute it.
opportunity, right, if I get an opportunity, I'll be able to do this.
Hmm.
So I didn't think he capitalized the right way, but I'm glad he got that highlight, because I did see Cartel, or I have seen him consistently been using statements that Shalom has made popular, and I wanted him to give him his flowers, and I'm glad he did.
Yes, he did.
He did. So big up to Cartel on that. I'm glad Shalom got that opportunity. Let's start to the big names now. Before I do, I wanted to talk about Jamal. Jamal is a fairly new artist. Um, as the comments were saying, the dunce man. um, I really like his performance because his stage presence was very good. I could hear him. I could hear him. He was very clear, and he engage the audience. So
Hmm.
I love that for Jamal. What do you think about Jamal?
Yeah, I loved how he performed. I, I mean,
He was not on the lineup, and to know he came out and he still rocked the stage.
right.
He handled the mic well, and performed exceptionally well in my eyes. For the little moments he got, I must commend him on that.
Hmm.
You know, and I see a very bright future for him as well
Yes, yes.
if he continues on this trajectory. Uh, I want to give an honorary mention, out of the new school, to Skeng. I am a big Skeng fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love Skeng because even if you don't know what he's saying, Skeng captivates the crowd everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
He does that in the US, and he has done that even in Jamaica and even on Freedom Street. When he touched the stage in that wig and that mask and just his attitude, it's like you have to cheer for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he is definitely Jamaica's dancehall rock star, and
Yes.
he takes on that name, the attitude, the character, the whole entertainment that surrounds him. It makes you feel entertained even if you don't know one word he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He I think his performance was too short, but I figured based on what was going on backstage and probably what they're saying into Cartel's ears, they realized that the show was about to finish and he didn't want to take away the spotlight from Tommy Lee Sparta, which probably invited him to the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how it went, but I'm glad we were able to see him for the little time that we did. And I had to give him that honorary shout out because I loved his old energy. And I felt like if he had more time, he would have done a lot more to grace
Definitely.
the stage, and he would have done a lot more to hype the crowd and to be a great memorable moment. And for it to be so short, I have to big up Skeng for that. So big up to Skeng on his performance. Do you have anything to say about Skeng?
Great artist. That's pretty much.
All right.
That's
So yeah, big up to Skeng on his performance and keep it up. I think he's one of them that has a bright future. I know they have said, he likes you know, the cocoa and stuff like that. They've made jokes about stuff like that. I don't know how true it is,
mm-hmm.
but all I know is I love his energy and I wish him all the best. I hope, he continues to rise in his delivery, his career, everything going on for him for the new year. I just wish him all the best on that. All right. So uh let's go down to Shatawali. Is that's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Shatawali?
Shut up, Wally. Yeah, that is.
Shatawale? Wali?
I think it's Wally.
Okay. Um Shatawali, he's from Ghana, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I have heard of him before, and I know the song that he's on with Beyonce. I may have known other songs too, but I'm not familiar with them. And that's no disrespect to Shatta Wali. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correct as well, so I apologize if I'm not, if I haven't. But I love his performance. It was short and spicy, and he showed a lot of respect to Cartel and to the crowd, and just shouting out how much he loves us,
Mm-hmm.
and how much they love Jamaican music and they respect us. I really appreciate him doing that. And it's gonna make me go ahead and check out some of his music because I know Africa on a whole loves Jamaican music.
Mm-hmm.
They embrace our artists, and I really love that for us. I think I saw Dexter the other day visiting one of those countries. I think it was Ghana or it was Nigeria, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And just the love that they show us. And I know who else? Popcorn. Popcorn is a very big fan of Africa. He goes there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I follow him because I'm a big Popcorn fan. And just the love and the respect that they show him there. I know I've seen the videos of the Africans and how they love Cartel. I just know when Cartel goes there, ooh,
Yeah,
that might be his
it's gonna
biggest
be epic. Yeah,
show.
it's gonna
It's
be
it's
epic.
probably gonna be bigger than ours. But I must say shout out to Shatta and all the best to his career, and crossing over into our music, if he wants to, that is. But I do love the fact that he came all this way and showed a lot of support to Cartel over the years, showed him love and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to give him that shout out. I also want to shout out Busta Rhymes.
Yes.
Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star. Oh my God. These two have shown so much love to Cartel, okay, for years. And he never switched up on Cartel based off what I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Cartel went to prison, or he was going through,
Excuse me.
thank you, when he was going through his case, he actually came to Jamaica. I was working at the time. I just started working, I believe, or probably 2 3 years into working. Um and he came to Jamaica. He went to the court.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all of that was captured over the news, and he did interview, I think, with ER and stuff like that. So he has always showed Cartel love, and he never switched up ever. So I really appreciate him coming and showing his love to the audience, and you know doing his signature verses that we know and come to love
Mm-hmm.
about Busta Rhymes. So I appreciated that, from him and Spliff Star showing us some love, because I believe he was supposed to perform in the summer and he wasn't able to. So I think this was a great way for him to come and show the love.
Right.
Um, and it was the right time. What do you think about Busta Rhymes visiting and showing love? He went to Hot Mondays and showed love. So what do you think about that?
I love this performance, but that's Buster. Buster has always maintained that performance level. His performance is out of this world. So I loved how he delivered, basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really did too. And I just want to say big up to Busta. Thank you for always showing Jamaica love. I believe he was born here or his family's from here or something. So he always showed Jamaica love, always, giving respect and appreciation to all not just Cartel, but Popcorn, Spice. I've always seen him showing genuine love and respect to us. Beanie Man, I believe. So, you know, Bunty Killer. Ooh, he loves Bunty Killer. So I just want to take my hat off to Busta for touching down with Shatta Wali and Spliff Star, and giving Cartel the love and the support that he deserves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Da Vinci. Ooh, the voice. Da Vinci is the voice. Okay. I've loved him a very long time. He's a great artist and I respect him. I think he should be way bigger than he is right
Mm-hmm.
now, because not only his talent, but sometimes we too humble. But man, Da Vinci has a great way to go. He did put on an absolutely great performance. He was one of the great performance for the night for me.
Mm-hmm.
From the Gaza Empire, from for the whole lineup. He's one of the top runners for great performer for the night. He really showed from the past when he was in the Empire to where he's at now, the
Mm-hmm.
growth, and he has shown, his catalog. I'm glad Cartel gave him the opportunity to do that, to embrace him and, have him perform and, show the love that he deserves.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. You know who I wanted to pop out? Not Nice, because Cartel used to do a lot of songs naming Not Nice, but he should have been on the stage because this is also a moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, Ja Vinci is his artist, and I don't think he would be taking a shine from Ja Vinci, but he is also a part of history with Cartel because some of Cartel's early hits was with Not
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So it would have been great to see him there. Uh, honorary mention. I keep saying that, but honorary mention. Wayne Marshall was missing from this event.
So,
I think he would have been an absolute great addition instead of a Aishana
mm-hmm.
or Eddie G.
Totally agree.
Bama.
I totally agree.
I don't think Cartel even had a song with Harry Toddler. I know they're friends and whatever, but Harry Toddler was able to get a punch in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been great for Wayne Marshall. I don't know if he didn't get to reach out to him. I don't know if there's bad blood there. I don't think so, but I'm just saying it would have been a great addition for a little of the alliance going into, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, that time period where he started to do, you know, those other songs. It would have been great to show a little of alliance before he transitioned to having his own empire.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed not seeing Wayne Marshall there, but it would have been great. Black Rhino, what do you think? Did you feel his missing piece to the puzzle?
I mean, not really, but it would be a good.
Come on, I
I
think
mean, Black Rhino is one of the columns in the whole
Empire.
empire, but knowing the back and forth he has been going on with Cartel since Cartel has been released. Uh,
I don't think that was the issue though, because
no,
Cartel
I
kind of
mean
squashed it.
in the last part they did reach out and they had conversations, but if he was there it would be good, but
I
mm,
think it would have been a great addition because he was one of them that had a great catalog while being in the
true,
empire.
true.
So like how well Popcorn is an exceptional performer. I don't know if he would have been a great performer, but I can say he was one of them that had catalogs while he was in Empire.
Mm-hmm,
I think he even burst on the scene before Popcorn. So he did have a great amount of songs that would have carried him. And this would have been a great platform for him to be on, which would have probably reignited his career,
mm-hmm,
in the
mm-hmm.
right way. But shout out to Black Rhino. I wish him all the best. And I hope to see him on a stage soon. All right. All right. So I think we touched everybody else. So now I want to touch on Skilly Bang. I think Skilly Bang
International artist.
international
Skilly Bang is
international
not a local artist anymore. So
not anymore,
when
right?
you see Skilly Bang step on the stage,
Oh my god.
expect great things.
Oh my god. Um I think we underestimated Skilly Bang in the past
Mm-hmm.
and what we saw for him, like futuristic. We didn't get it. I don't think the big crowd, uh Jamaican with the naysayers, I didn't think they got what he wanted for himself. And they didn't realize that hey, he just might reach it. We just don't understand the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, for example, with Cartel. We didn't understand when we saw him bleaching. We didn't understand, his concept, why he did certain things. But there's a level to the madness, I guess, if you want to put it that way. There may be a better way to say it, but I love how Skilly Bang move. Okay, and he didn't do a long set, which I think nobody did, right?
Mm-mm.
Only Popcorn, I think,
And
and Chronic Law,
Bounty Killer
Bounty
did a long
Killer,
set.
and
Spice
Spice.
did a long set. Yes.
And it's because he asked them to stay.
Right.
But what I can say, Skilly Bang, it was short and
Spicy.
spicy. From he touched that mic, he started to rep Gaza. He repped how he was influenced by Cartel, and he showed him respect, he showed him love. He was very appreciative. You could hear everything he was saying. He was engaging the crowd. You can see that he is a wireless fest
Mm-hmm.
performer.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that he he's no longer on a level, on that small stage level,
No.
right? And Wap Wap Wap, and all those other songs that he has been locally, meaning in Jamaica, being bashed for, are the songs that put him
On
on the
the
level
map.
he's
Yeah, on the
on the
level that
map.
he is. I mean,
Right. So big up to Skilly, yo. I
I,
really love this performance.
before you go, I feel that Jamaica on a whole are very serious critiques.
We are. Jamaicans
They
are.
look for everything. I
Everything.
mean,
Everything. I must agree with that. I've come to realize that as well. And I it can make us and it can break us,
mm-hmm,
because sometimes it can make us feel like we are unsure of ourselves because we're overthinking everything, and maybe that's why some performers don't do so well. So I just want to commend Skilly Bang. OMG, he did really, really well. I loved his performance. I loved everything about it. It was short and spicy, and I don't think he has performed in Jamaica for a good while. So I really appreciate Skilly Bang and all that he has contributed to the event, and I wish him all the best with his career, and much love to Skilly Bang. Yeah,
yeah, agreed.
absolutely. All right, so big up Skilly Bang and all the best. All right, so Tommy Lee was um one of the highlights of the night. He When he came out, especially because he came out with Skeng as
Mm-hmm,
well. But he got one of the biggest forward for the night. Tommy Lee, when he came out, I think a lot of people were looking for him to come out. At some point, and he was only able to do, I believe, three songs.
mm-hmm,
The song that he did with Skeng, he came out with that song, and then he started the second one, and then he did the third song, which is one of my favorite. And yeah, he ended the show on a high, performing. We really love that. But the police, they wanted it to turn off. They
mm-hmm,
did go over their time though, so can they really argue with the police? Because I believe he wanted it to finish at 1 or
mm-hmm,
1:30 or
mm-hmm,
something like that. And I think it was minutes to 3 it closed off, if I remember well, right?
mm-hmm.
So I must commend the police officers for giving them some time to finish, you know, at least up to that set. I'm not sure of exactly what was happening behind stage, because Cartel did start his performance late. I think he was like 1 hour late, and he touched the stage like a little after 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I must commend them. It didn't show like a lot of glitches happen, but I'm guessing it did. I know how events run and how hard it is, so kudos to them. But big up to Tommy Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes, Tommy's Tommy Lee's mic. I don't know if it was the mic or if it was his voice that was cracking up, but for the most part, he sounded just like his songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really knock him. But at some point, the mic sounded like it was either lower or something. And I've heard Cartel said on more than one occasion, turn up the mic. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if somebody was messing with it or whatever, but kudos to them. Big up Tommy Lee on his performance. I really appreciate him ending the event with that song. I think it's called Blessed,
Mm-hmm.
but I love that song. So big ups to him on that. All right. So I think I'm now at my top four best performers for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my top four best performers. Before I even go there, I want to say Cartel starting out in his Jersey, that Jersey segment.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I loved it. I think Cartel performed better, I guess, when he got comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with being on stage. I think he really got into it, and he was into performing his songs and his experience with the dancers, engaging with them and stuff. He got comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved that for him. His performance really gel well with the dancers, and he has his little witty comments that he would make in regards to Shorty and Sidem. Sidem is a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
I have to talk about Sidem later, but I must say, all in all, Cartel, I really loved his performance, especially the last part when he changed to the jersey. So let's go back to the top four performers for me, or highlighting moments. Popcorn and Chronic Law. So I get to understand that they were outside waiting for like 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
to come on stage, and I guess that fueled a lot of anger, but they didn't want to leave to upset Cartel,
Right.
or that just shows the love and respect that they have for the world boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I want to big them up for that, for staying nonetheless. But Mr. Unruly Boss
Hmm.
is gonna speak his mind, how he feels, and I don't know which month in bond. I don't know, but I think Popcorn is a little bit too vocal sometimes. Sometimes, you know, as what silence
Mm-hmm.
turn it
Turn
away
away
wrath.
wrath. Right.
Right. So um he needs to he could have eased up on that, because this is an international show that you're trying to not have a negative impact, and I didn't want anything to shadow Cartel's big show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not saying it's messing with it, but we didn't want that to occur, especially on the stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but he did tell Scatter, one of the promoters, to SYM, which was not so cool, and especially being a fan of him, and really loving the production. From what I saw, I didn't want this for Cartel's event.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think time and place. If you felt that way, you should have said that probably today, January 1st, after the event. Like how he cussed out Shaggy and what's the lady name? Uh TJ Sharon Burke, right? TJ's manager. So just like how he was able to vocalize that, but I think he did vocalize on the show too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did. So I guess you can't change um Popcorn from being who he is. So shout out to him. I am a huge Popcorn fan, and I've always seen him as an international performer, and I love how he engaged a crowd. I loved his performance, you know, but he's just the unruly boss.
Mm-hmm.
And Chronic Law, I don't know if it's a St. Thomas thing, because Chronic Law is also from St. Thomas. And they did perform one of my favorite songs, St. Thomas Native.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of it was a con to hear, the cursing and stuff. It is our culture, yes, but knowing that Cartel was trying to have this clean event,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with security and everything, I just didn't want the drama to follow it, and I didn't want them nothing to make it seems as if it is a ghetto party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because anywhere too much black people, as they would put it, or too much Jamaicans are, we're gonna be loud, aggressive, and we can be painted that way.
Excuse me.
And I wanted us to shy away from that.
That's right.
So I love them. I loved Chronic Law's performance. I love Popcorn's performance. I'm not beating them up in regards to that. I just wish they didn't say anything on the show and waited after the fact. But Popcorn is not that type of guy. So I get it, you know. And if you're upset about something, hey, don't shy away from saying what you got to say. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a 50-50 on what happened there. And I realized it really hurted Scatter. I think SYM is one of the most popular curse word in Jamaica. And I
Yeah.
think people are taking it too personal. But hey, that's just me, because I know I did S my mama's titty. So hey, why people take it so personal? I don't get it. But it's a man thing.
I
It's a Jamaican thing.
I'm gonna weigh my 2 cents. I feel that Scatter was hurt because of the thousands of patrons that
We're there
yes, that
and
and
streaming.
streaming. So that can be real disrespectful when you're highly regarded as a promoter and your name is there, and you'll feel away. I mean, he's human,
I
so.
get it. I get it. I get it. And he did mention after the fact that his mom is ill. So I wanna wish him all the best. I wanna wish his mom all the best. Hope she gets better soon. But I just really wish this was not an encounter that occurred. Something would have must have triggered Popcorn and triggered Chronic Law, and same so for um, Scatter and Joe. Joe has not said anything, but I just want entertainers and promoters to respect each other, because you guys have to work with each other to make your events
Mm-hmm.
better. So we have to find a more respectful way um, to deal with situations,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is not the way to go, guys, especially if you want to have a great international event and have to deal with. And I think this also can affect, just Jamaican artists being signed to international platform, because maybe they feel like we're just some angry black people.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Not a lot of our entertainers are signed to international companies, because sometimes we take things too personal in my eyes. So that's something that we probably need to work on. And but big up to Popcorn, big up to Carniclaw. They came, they represented, they showed a lot of respect and love to
Mm-hmm.
Cartel. And I have been a very huge fan of Popcorn since Dream, since Clocks. So I loved him, and he was one of the highlights for the night for me. I really wanted him to touch the stage with Cartel, and if he was not there, it would have been very sad, a sad moment for me. But it's memorable, and they even made it more memorable, unfortunately, with the negativity that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other two, I think the other two took the night for me. Those are the two memorable nights when the king and the queen got together. She changed the trajectory of the night for me.
Mm-hmm.
He did start out with his Empire people. He started out with Indu and Lisa Iper, and later down Spice came. When Spice came, Spice changed the whole trajectory of the show. The crowd ignited. I saw Pumpity for a little bit. I'll wind up ourselves. So big up to Pumpity, always there with Spice, being a big support. So I really love that. But Spice is just Spice for me.
Mm-hmm.
She was the spice of the night. She's just Spice. What do you think about Spice performance? I loved
Outfit.
her outfit, her attire. One thing with Spice, any big show, she used to do it for Sumfest. I've seen her at Sumfest before, and she always would have those little gimmicks, or witty verses that she would put out just for a particular show. And I'm glad she did a remix for Cartel, Comet, which is one of his newest songs. So I really, really, really loved her, how she came out, the attire, her engagement with the audience, with Sidem, with Pretty, what she call herself? What's Carter call his daughter?
Pretty,
Pretty
pretty.
Prinny, right?
Yes.
So, Adiana, big shout out to her too. So I just loved how she engaged everybody. She showed respect to Sidem, and then she turned around and started to whine on Cartel. That was like so funny to me, but I nonetheless I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every minute of her performance. Even Cartel did. He didn't want her to go. He was so comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with her being on the show. So I really loved that for them. They did engage the audience together. She pulled him out of his shyness for a little bit to me, and he got way more comfortable. He was so happy. He was genuinely happy
Yes, I
with
did see
Spice,
that.
right? And not just Spice, with a lot of performers, but Spice, he was genuinely happy that she came out, showed the support, showed the love, and she showed you international. I've heard a lot of podcasters, Jamaican podcasters, making comments to state prior to this that Shense is the new queen of dancehall. And I think Spice consistently shows them that, hey, there is no uh me no longer queen, and Shensia or whoever it is that they want to put on this crown, Lady Saw, whoever it is, she shows that she was the queen of stage. That was her name. I remember they used to call her the queen of stage
Mm-hmm.
because she brings performance. And if you know Spice's history, because I'm also a big Spice fan, Spice is one of the main persons that always had dancers from back in the day. She
Mm-hmm.
she didn't make sure, oh, I'm just gonna go up on stage and just perform a song. or just jiggle my bottom. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those persons that always tried to have a stage presence, and not only with herself. You know, like how you'd have a Beyonce and she has her background dancers.
Mm-hmm.
She always had her dancers, and she always stayed true, authentic Jamaican entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I love her for that. I love her being herself. I love her always setting the bar high for Jamaican female dancers, female performers. I should say, I said dancers,
Mm-hmm.
performers. And I just love Queen Spice. Big up Queen Spice. Nobody can say to me that, oh, she is the one that wants to be named Queen Spice. No, she deserve it.
Mm,
She put on the work.
she has put in the work
Oh
for it.
my
So.
gosh, man. And her performance showed that. King and Queen, you can see the undeniable chemistry they have. And I hope they perform more new songs, and I hope they continue to perform together and have a good relationship. I'm glad he showed her love and respect for the loyalty that she has showed him over the years.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing too. So I really love that. All right. So big up to Spice. Continued love and success over her career and to her family. Happy New Year to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have anything else to say about Spice?
No, she did a great job. I mean,
Yeah, she was a 10 out of 10, baby. Uh the final person. So I couldn't choose between Spice and Bunty, but why I put Bunty as the best top performer for the night. Spice did some gimmicks but made it really, really love. But I have to give it to Bunty Killer. If he was not there last night, we would have taken away something
mm-hmm. From that
from
show.
that show.
Yeah.
He was well needed, and when Cartel mentioned that he wasn't going to be there, I was like, "Oh no. How can the godfather of dancehall music that has put so many artists on the map, and I think about it all the time, the busy signals of this world, the Elephant Man, the Wayne Marshall. You notice I'm gonna bring Cartel yet?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Ari Toddlers. There's so many people he has given the platform. And to know that Cartel did the same thing, opened a platform for other new artists to come. you know, I have so much love and respect for Bounty Killer, and I just want to big him up on him representing last night as the Alliance boss. Him bring up, he has Movado. There's so many people under his banner that has garnered so much success in music, and he was well deserved to be there, and I'm glad he was there because not Bunty Killer. Vybz Kartel has consistently, since he has been out of prison, call him the daddy, the father that has taught him so much and that has given him the platform. Big up to Butler that originally introduced Bunty Killer to Cartel. But the love alone, it was undeniable. It was so genuine between both of them last night, and it was well deserved. It was well needed. I love the little pep talk uh, Bunty Killer gave him. you know he really came out as the alliance man, because the day before he did a performance, he was in full white, but he represented for the alliance, which is all black. And I really, really appreciated it. It was a highlight for the night for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my top two performers was indeed Bounty Killer and Spice. um I don't want to take away from Skilly Bang. None of the performers, I don't want to take away from them. I already told you who were my cons to the show, in terms of performers. So yeah, that was my entertainment for me. But what about the venue? What do you think about the venue? You think the venue was ideal?
Yeah. Couldn't have not been a better venue.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
The venue was a good pick. Now, what I will say about the venue, I don't know if it's the promotional team was the reason of the cost of the tickets, but they would have had a way better turnout, I think,
The
if the
tickets were more
bleachers
affordable.
were more affordable. And I'm not just gonna say bleachers, but all of the tickets was more affordable. It did show that the more pricier tickets did go for they were sold out.
Hmm.
But the bleachers, and I think they waited too long. They waited for what they call it, Thanksgiving,
Hmm.
to lower the tickets. If they had lowered it from early, you know, I think it would have sold out. Um, because having it killed the purpose of a 360 staging
Hmm.
if if one side didn't have much audience, and if you realize uh some artists, Cartel included, didn't really walk the stage that much. So I think he really stayed where the crowd was. So the persons that did pay and did go over to the other side saw less of him, and they paid the same money. And then another drawback was, I guess, closer to the end when they realized that, hey, we still have a lot of bleachers ticket, that's when they started to give it out.
Yeah.
When he was adamant that he was not going to do that. So it just made it seem like, hey, the concert wasn't selling. But he did got a good turnout. I'm not going to complain about it. I just think the production team, because Cartel would not have the history on that aspect of the business. So they should have been able to say, hey, this is not the best pricing. Let's bring it down a little bit, even
Hmm.
if he's the one that recommended the price,
Yeah, I
meaning
agree.
Cartel.
I agree.
So that was the venue was a great pick, but I think production did bad on the ticket sales, right? Security. What do you think about the security?
I think the security was top notch. I mean,
Did you see? I don't know if you saw this part, but there was a security in full black, and he was right behind Cartel, and Bright Light was talking to him. The guy in the full white with the big
no,
belly.
I did not see that.
Oh my god. He was like he had his hands up. He was like so sick and tired of Bright Light. I don't know what was going on, but something was going on in the back. And all of this was happening, and it was showing on the big flat screen behind Cartel, TJ trying to talk to him. And I think that also could have affected Cartel's performance too, because he's involved in every aspect, and they're trying to communicate everything that's going on in the back, and he's trying to control his performance,
Hmm.
his facial expression. So it's a lot going into an event like this. So it was kind of crazy, but the security, nonetheless, I think they did do a good job because they eliminated a lot of things escalating onto the stage, and they I believe they curbed the crowd a lot. So kudos to the security team that was at Freedom Street last night. Crowd management was great as well. So big ups for that. Audience engagement was great.
Hmm.
Yeah, you saw the crowd moving. You saw the crowd singing.
Hmm.
You heard them singing. They were amazing. They were lively. So I love that for them. The quality performance. What do you think about the quality?
Yeah, I mean, the quality was up to par. I mean,
And like I said earlier, my quality in terms of performances, it was just some of the Empire performers. I think they didn't do as well as I would like them to do,
but then
but they have not been performing.
performing, you have to take that
So
into
I don't
consideration too.
think
So,
I want to really bash them.
no.
Okay, so Yeah, and they had variety. He had
Mm-hmm.
new artists, he had older artists. So he did a very good job with the selection with what he had. The drawback, we didn't get Massacre. He did have a very big hit with Massacre, but hey, that was just one person. He did have a variety and it was great. The sound quality was great. Uh, as I said, I think there were instances where the mic was off, and it was either too low. I didn't like that,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, sound quality was great. Artistic expression was great. Everybody had, their way of saying things and doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn and Chronic Law said it best. They showed that very well. Another highlight of the night would have been the fireworks for me,
Mm-hmm.
with him and Spice saying the anthem, briefly saying the anthem and showing the fireworks. So that was amazing
Mm-hmm.
at 12 a.m. So I want to just say big ups to the Freedom Street promoters, cartel, all the whole entire lineup, all the persons that performed. I just want to show them a lot of love. This was a very good show, and I hope he turns it into a festival. Maybe do one with Movado. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, guys, do you have anything to say before I close out?
Yeah. Uh, no, I feel that everything to me was smooth.
It was smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, I I really love the whole Freedom Street. It was a good show.
It was a vibe.
Yeah, it
It
was a
was a
good
vibe.
show.
So yes, it was a very good show. I loved it, and I just want to say congratulations to Cartel, and all the best. On you being out, you performing, you making your money. We wish you all the best. Lots of love, blessings, and this was a great show. I give this show probably a 8.5 or 9 out of 10 in the production. The the glitches that we got, it was only, in terms of live stream, was only when an influx of persons
Persons
trying to
tried to,
view
as
him.
Cartel came on stage.
Yes, that was it. The cameras, everything, the staging
Good
was
quality.
amazing.
The lighting,
It was
it was
perfect. It
perfect.
was
I
perfect.
agree.
I can't complain. The quality was beautiful. So big ups to Downtown Records, Downtown Entertainment, and to Vybz Kartel. All the best and enjoy your night. Happy New Year, guys. Bye bye.
I'm out.